For more than 2 years now, I've been trying to lead the way in developing a working security detail at Grace Church of the Valley. And through a lot of trial and error, mainly on my part, I've had to reevaluate the entire process and the mission of this detail. Now, using a process that I learned a couple years ago, I want to begin building the security team from the finished product backwards. Literally, I want to see what should be built, and then build the model with that picture in mind. So I want to see it, then I want to build it. Now, the security for the Grace Church of the Valley will be an unarmed detail. All requirements and training will be trained from an unarmed perspective. Persons carrying firearms on property will be addressed outside the scope of the security detail. Our job as the security team is to create a barrier between the physical location and those persons who wish to remove it or destroy it for their own cause. And the second thing we want to do is to ensure that any activity is not being disrupted by those persons who are not following our social protocol. This would include intentional and unintentional acts. And the final function would be to assist the police, the fire, and medical personnel in any way they direct during an event that would require their presence. Now, our primary area of responsibility in the building will be outside the sanctuary and the grounds surrounding the building. We will assist the usher ministry as they request if a problem occurs inside the sanctuary. In an effort to provide a safe environment, the side doors will be locked for entry after 10:15 a.m. on a Sunday service and 15 minutes after the start of any special service or event. Now, we will have 2 hall monitors for each area or service. One will remain stationed at or near the front, and the second one will basically roam the remainder of the building. Now, the monitors will be responsible for listening to the usher and the children's ministry radio transmissions. One additional person, which will probably be myself, will be stationed inside the sanctuary. If both outside security members are required to respond or attend to a need, the person inside should be notified, and they will assume the front entry position or help provide assistance. Each team member should always follow the instructions or fulfill the request of Grace Church of the Valley leadership. Now, when it's possible, our first interaction should display the love and respect that we've been taught to treat every person who enters our building for a service or event. Only in extreme cases, when reasonableness cannot be applied, would we resort to taking an aggressive stance. Each person working the security detail must bear in mind the law does not recognize any implied authority by virtue of a position to violate a law or a person's civil rights. In the event that further action is necessary, a law enforcement officer should be called to conduct this type of activity when they deem it necessary. In any case where we must act to prevent violence to ourselves or to the other people in the building, the law will recognize our rights as a citizen to defend ourselves, but the exceptions are very vague on what the public deems as necessary force. Now, each person will be required to work enough details as is necessary to fulfill the required positions. 2 positions on Sunday should arrive at about 9 o'clock to take their post. If you're assigned a post on Sunday and you cannot fulfill your duties, it is your responsibility to attempt to fill the spot with another team member. Each person will be required to fill positions at events and special services throughout the year, and they should arrive about a half hour prior to the start of those events unless otherwise instructed. Now, each person will be required to also attend a monthly training at an assigned location or a phone or video conference. During the conference, we'll discuss upcoming events, conduct a brief training, and have a period for further discussion. These conferences will be on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. and will last no longer than an hour. Occasionally, we're going to conduct training that may last for 4 or more hours on areas that need to be addressed. We'll also have weekly calls or meetings also on Tuesdays for fellowship and a time of prayer. Now, it'll be vitally important for the group to form a bond in order to ensure that we are all committed to the safety of the church and all persons who enter it. Now, anyone that is currently serving as a hall monitor will need not apply. All other persons interested should notify me, and we'll let you know if a position is available. I do ask that anyone who is currently serving or intends to serve to carefully consider the commitment of time and talent before applying to work this security detail. I thank you. Be well and be blessed.